up? Welcome to Puck Nation Podcast. It's May, 15?
16
today? May
yeah.
16, something like that, right? Something like that, right?
It's beautiful weather we're getting finally.
Yeah, finally, here in Montreal.
Absolutely.
Finally. Yeah, it was like 26 today.
Go figure.
Yeah, go figure.
Yeah.
So again, we're going to be talking hockey. But today, unfortunately, we're going to start off with something real sad. I woke up to the horrible news this morning. When I was a kid, Mike, even just a couple of years ago, Darren Dutchyshen passed away, man, from TSN.
I heard it, yeah.
And it's so sad because growing up, it was like him, him.
Yeah, he was a mainstay.
He was with, He was with James Duthie. He was with Rod Black and
Gordon Miller.
He was with all those guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he was, from what they say, this guy was a joker. Like this guy is like really, really. Apparently, I heard some stories today. He was like a real joker, you know.
Dutchy.
And Dutchy, man, yeah, and that fucking cancer, that goddamn disease, man. God. Anyway, I just wanted to say condolences to his family and friends because they were affected. I was watching a bit today on TSN. Obviously, right?
Yeah,
Jennifer
makes
Hedger
sense,
and all
right?
that. Christ. 57 years old. That sucks when it's like that.
You know, your coworkers do become your family at some
Of
point,
course.
right?
Dude,
Like,
you
you're
end
with
up
them all
seeing
the
them
time.
more than you see your family, right?
Absolutely.
So,
Anyways, to move on from the bad news.
Let's get to the good news. We have a special guest today. Another former Hab, a former Flyer,
sir.
but it was a former Hab. Obviously, he's a former Hab, a Stanley Cup champion.
Yeah.
Right?
Another one.
Another Stanley Cup. That's our third, right?
Yeah, third.
We had O-line, and now we have
Yeah.
Mr. Gilbert
Gilbert
Dionne.
Dionne.
Let's go. Bring him on. Gilbert, what's up?
Hey guys, how
How's
are
it
you?
going?
You good?
Yes, I'm doing great. I can't believe you guys tracked me down during May season because when May comes around, the Habs are out of the playoffs. Some of my other teams are out of the playoffs. It's golf season, so you're lucky
You
I'm
play?
here today.
You know what?
You play a lot of golf? Yeah?
Yeah,
Me
yeah.
too. I used to actually teach, yeah.
Yeah, I play a lot of golf, but I'm not as good as some of the alumni that do play, especially the Leafs alumni, because we used to play hockey.
A lot of practice.
Exactly. So,
Okay. Are you giving me shots, man, because of the background here? Right? Yeah. Hey, man.
love it.
You know what? These fucking guys in the Leafs, they should all be on the PGA. That's how
Yep.
good they should be.
Right.
Okay? I understand if, the Canadians guys, they suck. I go, yeah, because you don't play golf. Because you play hockey till June. So, you're good, right?
Exactly.
These
That's
bananas are out,
But yeah, thank you so much for coming on, Gilbert. I know I saw you at Habscave. Shout out to Sonny.
Yes, Sunil's been great to us. Get to meet him. Super fan, believe it or not. I end up connecting with Sunil, and the sports itself need fans like him, and we don't call himself, you don't need to call them like groupies and stuff like that, but to support you, right? They support you off the ice, after your career, and the love of the game they have, it's unbelievable. And this guy is amazing. Now I got my own bedroom at his house. He looks after me every time. Even his kids are asking me, when is Gilbert coming for a visit? So it's,
wow.
it's
That's awesome.
Great
That's awesome.
family. They're very
awesome.
hospitable. They're great.
It is
Honestly.
true, though. That the arena should be filled with guys like that.
Yeah.
Not with these corporate, on the phone.
That's only in Toronto. But
Yeah, no, it's everywhere. Yeah, it's everywhere. That gets me so pissed off. We go. Remember, Mike, last time we were there?
Yeah.
A couple weeks ago there?
Yeah.
It was so stupid. We're sitting there, we're like, yeah, and the other guy's like, hey.
I
Honey,
know.
get milk. Like, come on, stop this. So what's Gilbert Dionne up to these days? What's up? What's going on?
It's been a very busy winter. I've been self-promoting myself through, obviously, I've been so generous. My hockey career, even though it was short, I was able to not only win the Stanley Cup, but play with a couple of different teams, the Philadelphia Flyers, the Florida Panthers. So during my time, I feel like I owe it back to the community, and I do have some hockey package that I auction off through events, golf, charity events, whatever, that someone is in need, and take clients and people to hockey games in Toronto, also at Montreal, Philly, and Florida. So it's been a very busy winter, and now we do it again during the summer, and then we auction off through golf events and some
Awesome.
all types of events. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. That's great. You see, giving back. You see,
Giving back. That's what it's all about.
That's what it's about.
100%.
First question I want to ask you. Okay, you're how do we say "Petit chez nous," right?
Yes.
That's how we say it
Yeah.
down here, right? You're from Drummondville, correct?
Yes, I'm from Drummondville.
Okay,
Yep.
that's right. You got drafted from the Montreal Canadiens. When your name comes up from the Habs, man, from the Habs. you're my age, right? A couple of years younger than me. You grew up with all that, right? You grew up with all those Christ, come,
The
give me a
dynasty.
break, right? The dynasties, right? How does it feel, Gilbert? How did you feel when le club canadien, whatever, le club hockey canadien select Gilbert Dionne? How does that feel?
At first, believe it or not, I was a little bit disappointed. Let's,
Okay. What?
okay, you got to hear me out because
Okay.
even I was, 20 years old. You're still young, a little immature. My brother Marcel playing LA, the big rivalry with Guy Lafleur and Marcel and so
Yes.
forth.
Yeah.
You get drafted by the Canadians. I'm like, they had already 23 Stanley Cups. I'm like, what are the odds I can crack this lineup for the Canadians? In baseball, it's the Yankees, and in basketball, it's the Lakers. How are you gonna fit in there? So it was kind of like hard because you're going like, there's no chance. Like this is a dynasty hockey team. What's gonna happen here? Like because at 20 years old, you watch hockey on TV, and then when you're drafted, you're like, you think you'd rather go to an expansion team or a team that's been
Are
struggling.
you serious? You really actually
100%.
thought that?
Yeah, you're getting more of a chance to play.
I understand that. I understand.
One,
that.
one, at 20 years old, 100%. You don't think about winning Stanley Cup right away. You're trying to make a team. You're trying to
Right.
improve it. You were built at my age, at my time, a late bloomer. I was, considering just minor league for sure before cracking the lineup. So
Yeah.
it was a long process. So I was excited. You know what I'm saying? You say you get drafted, first of all, it was a plus. Hey, what? Fourth round, 81st overall. Thank
Yeah.
you for calling. Now I have a big summer to prove myself that I can make the team. But you weren't planning that. They were going to Russia. It was guaranteed. It goes, you're going straight to Fredericton. The team's moving from Sherbrooke to Fredericton. Good luck and see what happens. So that's what the draft was all about for me.
It's very true.
Incredible. I honestly, I totally did not expect. I figured that's why I said I started the question with un petit gars de chez nous because you figure. No, but it's true. Dude, are you serious, man? It's like I'm Italian, okay? Somebody says, hey, tomorrow you're going to play for the Italian national soccer team.
Yeah. But
Wow, like oh my god, I mean, look, I'm just talking about it. I'm like, incredible. That's why I asked. I'm like, oh my god, you totally shocked me. Totally
But I
shocked
kind
me.
of get that when you're coming up as a 20-year-old, it's more about just making your mark and kind of getting an opportunity. And on a team like that, where's the opportunity? Like the
Absolutely.
opportunities are slim. for a
exactly
20-year-old.
right, Mike.
Yeah.
It's not like the organization kind of look at. We have roster. We have room for 4 players. Like work hard this summer. You're one of their top 4. Nothing. It was like congratulations and good luck. Here's your 3-way contract because we don't even sure what's going to come up with you. And see you later. See what happens. So
You should-
it's let the audience know that not cut. You get drafted by the team that
Right.
your back home team, but you're going to make it. That's not going to happen. It's
I never looked at it that way.
So
but
you
you're
could
right.
have like snuck into Serge Savard's office and been like, "So I heard San Jose's good this time of year." You know what I mean?
I heard there's sun in Los Angeles. Yeah.
And let's not forget, guys, they lost in the finals '89. That's not
Yeah.
far from '93. That's not
that's
much
right.
of
Yeah.
a big change they had to do. There was just a few tweakings to do, and they weren't going to take 5-6 rookies that year. They already had their guys from the Sherbrooke guys coming up, and the young LeBeau was there. Like Schneider
yeah.
just got called up. Right, they still had some. They had a group core guys there. So that's what my point was trying to say. That I was
Yeah,
a little
yeah.
bit disappointed.
But when well, that's incredible.
It's
Hey,
looking back, right? Not at that.
well,
time.
obviously,
Right,
yes.
right? So,
But when you did crack the lineup, Gilbert, when you cracked it,
well, you know what? We're in Fredericton, and when we're there, me and we're at the kid line playing with Jesse Belanger, Patrick LeBeau,
Yes.
Paulin Bartolow's our coach. We had some veterans already there that did have to try a few times to Montreal. They knew their dreams was over. That they're 27 years old, 20 years old. They're back in the minors, and here we are just in a bar one night watching the Canadiens on TV, and we're like, what's going to happen? How can I crack the lineup? Believe it or not, you don't wish for an injury, but at
Obviously.
that time, you just hope for an opportunity because there was no roster shortage. Like what you call it, 23-man roster. We're allowed
Yes,
to call
yes.
up 27, 28 guys and
Yeah.
put a bit of pressure on the veterans.
There's a limit on it now. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. There's a limit now on players being called up or
Yeah.
sent down. So I was fortunate enough to get called up for a couple of games. I was hot in the minors and said we gotta give these guys a little bit of an incentive, something to do.
Yeah.
So I just got called for a couple of games during Christmas, got sent back down. But I tell you what, one opportunity came through an injury. Mike McPhee hurt his knee. He was out for 6
Yes.
months. I get the call up. They couldn't send me down. It was a huge decision from Serge Savard and top organization through Pat Burns, our coach, saying,
Your coach.
we can't send him down. He's already got 10 goals in like 3 weeks. It's like
I
it was
remember that.
very, and those are stories that after the fact, right? That Serge was telling me that
Yes.
put him in a vice grip that cost Mike McPhee to get traded and went elsewhere. And I cracked the lineup that way.
Because at the end of the day, it's business, man. It's business, you know.
But that's also a testament to to your work ethic and kind of what you put in, because you could have come up and done nothing. Yeah. And bottom line is, you did what you did, and you forced his hand. So
exactly.
That's you created opportunity where there wasn't one.
Correct.
So that's it.
Absolutely.
So to all those young players right now playing, there's an opportunity. Even if you get sent down, it's gonna come. It's gonna, I believe it. And if not, there's now today's hockey. There's 32 other teams, so you're gonna get a shot at it somewhere else. There's always someone believing you, or a scout, an assistant coach, an upper management, somebody in the organization. If you're still around and kicking around, it means it's gonna happen.
That's right. That's right.
Just don't give up.
Yeah.
Don't,
I guess
don't give up.
That's
Correct.
right. That's right. Then so you play and you guys make it to the final with all those overtime wins.
Yeah.
That's just insane. I remember being a kid watching this. My dad was a big Montreal Canadiens fan.
And
big.
he turned out to be a Leafs fan. But
Shut up,
anyways.
Yanni. Shut up, man. Leave me alone. Listen, I told you I played soccer. A lot of soccer balls to the head.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
It's a, what do they call CTE?
Yeah.
I'm CTE. I'm CTE. Anyway, whatever. Look, yeah. So you get in there, all those overtime wins. You guys make it. Wow, what a feeling!
What a run.
I mean,
It
what a
was
run.
it was not intentional. Like, I mean, at the beginning of the year, Jacques Demers calls out that we're going to shock the world by winning the Stanley Cup. I think it was a little bit far fetched at that time, but you know what? He was such a positive coach, believing in each individual of us, and it starts by your captain, right? Guy Carbonneau is our captain.
Carbo.
You know, and you got Mike Keane, you know, and on defense
Patrick.
you get obviously Patrick Wynette, and you got Schneider and Desjardins, and the whole lineup was, and we picked up Denis Savard as another nice group of core of leadership to guide us young guys to carry us to the playoffs and to the finals.
Incredible. We had Odeline on a couple of months ago, okay, and he told us about Patrick. Okay, he goes, "Look, the guy." He doesn't like to lose, man. He fucking can't stand losing, right? Is it true, Gilbert? Is it true? Was he that guy in the room? What would he say to guy? Like, what would he say to you young guys?
I get to know Patrick obviously because there's separate teams in the room, right? You got your French guys, your English guys,
of course.
And Patrick was most likely 90% French. His lifestyle was more in French, so I sat right beside him, and Guy Carbonneau and Danfous beside me, so I get to see and hear a lot of situation. He was not much of a talker, like he was just lead by example on the ice, but it's his work ethic in practice. It was unbelievable that I'm 20 years old and I'm scoring on him, excited as you can believe it at the old forum. I'm whistling and screaming on top of my lungs. I score against Patrick. He would get so mad at me, so mad. But if you score a goal on Patrick when practice, you earned it. Imagine that. That's how his work ethic was. Yeah. But when Patrick in dressing room, if he would speak up his mind and say, guys, I let 2 bad goals, and it was against the Bruins, says, I let 2 bad goals. Please go get this lead back for me, and I promise you will win.
Wow.
We're like, what are you talking about? And then next thing you know, 50 saves later, we win 3-2, and
Insane.
You see?
Unbelievable. That's true leadership, and that's why he belongs. You know, he's a Hall of Famer and
of course,
four Stanley Cup champion. And now, congratulations to him to run the team in New York.
I was going to ask you. You think that's a good thing for the league with Patrick back in the league coaching?
Why not? I mean,
of course, I agree.
And he always said it. He's not there for the money. He's just there to prove something.
Really? He's got all kind. He doesn't need that shit. Exactly.
He loves to prove. I wish. I can't say that. I apologize. During that time, there was a possibility that he could have coached Montreal. Would have been nice, but maybe it's not a right fit for him. And I know the fans
or maybe the timing's off.
Maybe it is. Maybe it is.
Maybe the timing's off. Yeah.
Maybe the timing's off. Yeah, so we'll see what happens. I wish him luck, right? He's a teammate of mine, and let's see what happens.
Absolutely.
But, you know, on that 93 run, there were a few magical things that happened throughout that run. I mean, John LeClair's coming out party, that was just something else. And it was Paul DiPietro, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Was he there, Paul?
He was killer in those overtimes, super clutch.
Yeah.
So it's like, it seems like all the elements just kind of came together.
All the stars aligned for you guys in 93, right?
So.
Everything.
Yeah, it does. And I'm watching hockey today, and I don't understand. Like you lead, if you have your top 4 or 5 players, and this is what happened to us is Jacques Demers. And these stories are after this, after the fact that we
Yes.
won and everything. I didn't come up with it. So Demers picks up his 7, 8 leaders on the team in his room, and he asked Muller, Bellows, Danfus, and Keane, all the leaders on defense. Goes, guys, I need to cut down your ice time for about a minute, minute and a half, so I can play the kids. So when he said kids, so he can play myself, Brisebois,
Yeah.
DiPietro, Ed
It's
Ronan,
crazy.
and
Ed
to,
Ronan.
to
Oh
give
my
us at
God.
least 10 minutes of ice time. Imagine that. 10
Wow.
minutes. We're lucky to get one shift. Now players
Yeah,
today
really.
want 18 to 20 minutes of ice time
Yeah, no,
to
that's
do
crazy.
something. And these coaches, the player says, you know what, coach, we're in. Sounds good. So
See, you see, it's
you know,
different, man.
do you understand that? So
Oh yeah, yeah.
I would, and the frust. There was two power play units. I was the second power unit. I take down Foose. Down Foose would stay on the ice for a minute 35. So I get frustrated because I wish I'd have at least a minute. But
Yeah.
that 35 to 40 seconds of power play for me was get myself a goal. So it was
Of course,
unbelievable.
that's
Filling
amazing.
in the blanks, filling the holes, and take responsibility and understand your role and go out there and do it. As simple
You
as that.
see, that's what I find that's
Your
missing
role.
today,
That's the
man.
most
Your role.
important
You see,
thing.
that was the big word. Your role. Everybody understood it. I think that's what's missing in today's, Gilbert. That's exactly what's missing in today's game. I find, and we've had this conversation before. I find in today's game, the kids of today, they take it for granted, man. Look, there's a couple of guys out there. I see Sid play. I see McKinnon play. Look what Tanev's doing now.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
He
The
has
guy-
no teeth left, man.
There's just guys that do, but I find there's a lot more that just who cares? It's business, and I want my ice time, I want my money, or else I'm not coming, I'm not showing up. Trade me. Look at that kid in Philadelphia.
Cutter
yeah.
Gauthier.
Yeah, Cutter Gauthier. He gets drafted, and I said this on the show before. That's why I asked you when you got drafted. You get
Yeah.
drafted from a National Hockey League team. Oh my God, I'd be doing cartwheels all over the arena. Yeah, do. Yeah, whatever, right? This kid, yeah, I want to be a flyer. I want to be a flyer. 3 months later, get me out of here.
Yeah, well, this has to do also. Don't forget that the hockey player of today become an item almost. Like there's agents involved, there's family involved, there's a lot of money. A lot.
Yeah.
You get paid
Yeah.
before you touch the ice. You're a paid player before you touch the ice.
That's incredible.
By the draft pick, and
That's
you're a $1 million
incredible.
player right away. So there's no way to. You don't have to prove nothing because you're guaranteed money coming in. It's big
Jesus.
bucks, right? And you get 32 other teams to go for. I lost track. Utah's back. I lost track how many teams. So,
32, 32, yeah, because
we had
Utah's.
we had 16 teams.
Yeah.
So it's plain and simple. That's not much room. And especially being
Yeah.
a French Canadian, that was even harder because
In Montreal,
at that
yeah, yeah.
time there was that time's a little bit of politics, right?
Yeah,
The
of
French
course, of
guys.
course. I want to ask you
uh,
something about that after. Yeah, yeah.
and stuff like that. So at the end of the day, everybody wants to win. I understand. I
Yeah.
truly believe these players of today. I don't care if you make $1 million or $10 billion. You want to win the Holy Grail.
You see?
Since you're a young
You see?
kid, you want to win the Stanley Cup. So
Different. It's different.
I don't care if you play for the Leafs. I don't care that group of 4 core blah blah. They
Yeah.
want to win. They want to win. It's just
Yeah, they just
bad
don't act like
timing.
they do. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it's bad timing.
Yeah,
I watch
guess.
I watch it. I feel for them. There's 30 cameras on them now. There's the iPhone. Everyone's got phones on them. They can't catch a break, and I feel sorry for them.
But I just
Different
find
times.
heart is you see that. I mean, look, we're watching the games from out here, and I find sometimes like everybody was scrutinizing the last game of the season what Willie did, right? Remember
William
he opened
Nylander,
yeah,
yeah.
remember that stupidity that he did, and I'm like, I understand you got cameras everywhere, right? And so isn't that all more reason to try to work hard at it? You know what I mean?
I don't know. Sometimes you forget, right? Sometimes it's a repetitive. You come home, everyone's got a doorbell, ring bell, and I forget. It's at my house and I'm being watched every day from my girlfriend.
Yeah,
right?
that's true. That's
All
true.
right, you
That's
take the
true.
garbage. Take the garbage out. Yes. No, I didn't. Oh,
No.
I watched the camera. Oh,
I
it's there. I
guess.
forgot. People
I guess.
forget. You're focused on to go do your job, and
I
so
guess.
forth. I just feel, and this is to the Montreal Canadiens also to blame a little bit, is when I played, I had a dressing room full of alumni. It was unbelievable that after the
kidding.
morning practice, I stood up, I looked up my head, and I see the late Jean Beliveau,
God
Maurice
bless.
Richard walk by. I'm going Yvonne Cornway. I'm like, I'm shivering right now. I'm like,
Yeah, no
this
shit.
Henri Richard say, "How you doing? Good luck tonight." I'm like, are you kidding
Wow.
me?
Wow.
And I struggle for. I'm telling you, I think I struggled for 2 games for not scoring points, not producing. They're going to send me down to the minors. And Mario Tremblay was working for CGAD, I think, a French radio station. He's out there in the room. He's at the forum, comes by the dressing room. I say, "What's up?" He goes, "Come here. You need to just keep it simple. When you go by the board, it's all in French, obviously. When you go by the boards, just bank it off the boards and get off. It's going to look good on you, and the puck's going to find you, blah, blah." I looked at him and go, the guy just won 5 Stanley Cup. Why would I not listen to him?
Of course.
I did the simple little things. He brought me back down to earth, did the simple things, and I got out of my slump. And until this day, I think.
And
Mario
the game came back, baby.
Yeah, it came back. But that's thanks to him. It happened to him, right? So it's just like so much fun. And I wish it could be around a little more, these young kids. And right, I'm not super talented, but I know what it took. I won the cup.
Absolutely.
That should be it.
Maison.
Right? You won the cup.
He won the cup.
Right?
You got that right.
So let's hope today, with Martin St. Louis around, he's won the cup.
Yeah.
The new young generations should maybe start watching hockey. First of all, like instead of play video games and go out there and scrolling through their phone, they should start watching hockey games and see what's out there and maybe pick up some pointers here and there.
I so agree with that.
Absolutely.
Learn the game. Learn from the past. Learn the game.
Course.
Watch some highlights. Watch some good old-time hockey. Right?
Absolutely.
It's funny. We actually had another one of your ex-teammates on the show, Knuckles. So, and he kind of said some similar things about like when he first came into the team and there were all these legends around.
Yeah.
And he was super nervous about making the team just like yourself because he was just a brawler at the time. And he was... he was trying to go in and he was worried that maybe he should change his game, and he started getting in his head a little bit, and the coach came to him and said, "Just be you.
Yeah.
Just simplify it. Do
Jacques
what you
Lemaire
gotta do."
said, "Yeah,
Jacques
you fight
Lemaire.
too much.
You're fighting. Yeah,
chill out.
Yeah, just do your thing and don't worry." And it worked.
Yeah.
And it's the same type of thing.
My short term at the beginning, Chris was at the team before he got traded, and let's be respectful. A little bit of bullying towards me, a little bit, but at the end, like when he kept me back straight, right? Just kept saying, "Hey, man, just because you're a hot streak, you're still a young rookie. Respect the rules, blah blah." And at the end of the year, we took a limo together. We went to an event. He goes, "Gilbert, I love you." And with his obviously accent, he goes,
with that Boston accent
and the Boston accent. He said, "I did that for you." I said, "Knuckles, I thank you so much because." I was in La La Land, and he brought me back to say, "You need to last longer. Not just this 3-4 months." And I thank him for that. Right?
Sometimes you need that.
I feel like that's needed though.
Yeah,
and I don't think it's there nowadays because everybody is so in their own world.
Yeah, it's fragile. The game's fragile. We're adapting. Like people said, "Are you watching hockey still?" I said, "It's changed." I said, "I'm adapting to what's happening now." Right? If there's no fight in hockey, there's no fight. I'm adapting to it. There's nobody checking. Maybe there is one. We're not sure. You're calling. Is it a rough or not roughing? It's the NHL. It's us to say, you know what? This is what hockey's all about. I still enjoy catching it. It's very expensive, so I want to watch some good hockey. First of all, right? Everything's expensive.
Yeah.
They can't win them all, but put an effort. I always tell, go watch the Canes, go watch the Leafs, the Flyers. Put an effort. If you lose, at least you tried hard. The game got stolen by a big goal. The goalie's not there. Well,
you left it all on the ice.
That's it, man.
Yeah, exactly.
You think like the league today, it's a little bit too watered down because of the 32 teams, and they're talking about expansion. They're talking about going to Houston, going to Kansas City, whatever. Do you think it's a little bit too watered down?
Like you said, right now, what I see is you want to see your top 2 lines, right? I mean, I apologize. If you don't see Caulfield and Suzuki play all the time, and you don't see Marner and Matthews and those guys and Nylander play all the time, then why am I watching hockey for? Right? It's almost should cut down to 2 lines and 4 defensemen and go at it, but it's not going to happen. So
not going to happen, exactly.
So the ice time, you need to have your top gun on the ice all the time. And like you said, your 3rd and 4th line doesn't seem to come as much of interest that we were in the past, but that's who they are on the ice right now, right? You need your 3rd, centerman,
absolutely.
Or your 3rd line.
Personally,
line go sneak a goal in,
I believe those are the guys that make the difference. I mean, in my opinion, the top 2 lines on any team basically cancel themselves out, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm just saying, let's say Toronto's playing Edmonton, you know what I mean? Yeah, you got Matthews against McKinnon, against McDavid, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. But it's your 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 guys that make the difference, right?
Yeah.
It's those, what do they call them? The plumbers, right?
The Dallas Stars right now.
They're fine.
They have
but they're built.
They have the depth. Like 3rd, 4th line is stacked.
They're built like a construction team, man. Wow.
Absolutely.
Wow, man.
That's what we hope. That's what we hope. The Canadians get a long way to go. I'm not a guy who just. I don't fib. I don't. I don't. What do you call it?
Make it up.
Yeah, I don't make it up, man. We have a
Yeah.
lot of work to do in Montreal. It's
Yeah,
sad to
man.
say. Let's just hope the organization know where they're heading.
Well,
I'm happy that St. Louis sticking around
Yeah.
3 more
I
years,
think
but
I think they're in good hands, Gilbert. Don't you think that they're in good hands
Jeff Gordon,
with Jeff
Kent
Gordon
Hughes.
and
Yeah,
Kent Hughes? I think they're in great
possibly.
hands. I
Possibly. I
mean,
think that I think they need to spend more money. We need to go get some guys
we were
uh,
talking about that.
that want to
Yeah.
stay, and we need a $10 million player out front.
A
100%.
star.
We lost Carey Price, so you know what I'm saying now. Where's the money? Where's it spent? I mean,
Yeah.
I don't believe they need to have 4 equal lines. You got to have some top.
Star.
You know,
Yeah,
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 you need
yeah.
star. You need star even through the draft. So the scouts better go out there and start finding some good stuff, or else go
Yeah.
get some trades and give away your first round because we have so many. Montreal's got so many first round picks. I don't even know what the heck's going on
I
anymore.
know. They
I
gotta
know
make
where
some.
we're going.
Gotta make some moves.
I
There.
will
Let's
say,
get-
I mean,
Yeah, go ahead, Mike.
I was just gonna say their blue line future depth at the blue line is insane. I mean, I think they're gonna have one of the most stacked blue lines in the league.
If it all
in a
works
couple
out,
years.
yes.
Yeah. And let's give Montembeau a shot. Like, why not?
Yeah,
Tall
yeah.
kid,
Yeah.
they sign it. Stop fiddling around with 3, 4 goaltenders. You don't know who to pick. Go with your number one. Go with
See?
it.
Yes.
End of
You
story.
see? Totally agree. Totally agree. And
Why
I'm
not?
not a believer in, you need a $15 million goalie. No, you don't. No, you don't.
No.
You know,
No.
you need a guy that's solid. That's what you need. You need
Yeah.
a solid guy. And just surround the poor guy. Just surround
Yeah.
him. Get a couple of good guys. You know what I mean?
Talking from
Yeah.
experience.
Yes, I'm talking from experience. Look, fuck. Yes, I'm talking from experience. You're telling me? Yes, I'm talking from experience. Oh my god. You were part of one of the biggest trades in Montreal history, man. You were one of the guys that went the other way when they brought in Mark Recchi here. You left with Eric and you left with John Leclerc, right?
Yeah, it was
How was that,
fantastic.
man?
I was disappointed, to be honest, because my way was I was on my way out. I've said a few things under newspaper I shouldn't have said. I was swimming, sinking. Right, I was sinking.
Yeah.
Couldn't battle back out. Like it's almost I was didn't know how to get out of it. I wish I would have had maybe a little more support through the team or whatnot. But you know what? That's in the past. I wish it would have worked out for me in Philly. But watching John Leclerc with the Legend of Doom, with Erling Dross and Michael
what I was
Ramberg,
gonna ask
that short time I
Insane.
was there was unbelievable. Unbelievable how these
How was that? How was that?
Yeah.
Watching, I mean, I remember watching Lindros when I was a kid with Team Canada. I'm like, when did they start drafting trains in the National Hockey League?
Yeah.
He was running over people, man. And
like
he was
I
an
said,
18-year-old kid.
Yep.
He was a
And now-
kid.
And when we said about leaders, like Eric Lindros was there, that was his team. He just came out of an MVP, and they were trying to surround him with better players. Desjardins did great on the blue line.
Yeah,
Eric,
exactly.
John Leclerc came in and says, "Let's see what happened." And what a terrific Legend and Doom
Let's
line.
see what happened. Oh my God.
Well,
Wow.
I truly think what happened in Montreal is they didn't have patience enough. I think Jacques Demers might have said or did a few things. There's 15 of us left within a year and a half.
Yeah.
15 of the
crazy.
Stanley Cup instead
Yeah.
of rebuilt.
Yeah.
There were some promises being said, being told to do, and it didn't happen. And I think it frustrated some players. And they sent us away, right? I mean, next thing you know, you got Carbonneau left, everybody, DiPietro left, and everybody start getting
Hey.
picked on, and it is what
Even
it is,
Patrick left a couple of years after.
right? Patrick left in '96,
Yeah.
and he says,
Yeah.
My time's up
That's
here,"
it.
and then he wins the cup in Colorado, right?
Twice. Yeah, yeah.
Twice.
So you welcomed the change then. You were cool with it.
Yeah, that's cool. I missed my opportunity. It was a lockout that year. I was 23 game season, 0 goals in 20 games, and I should have.
Yeah.
I was playing with Brenda Moore, and then my opportunity, a 2-year deal. The late Mr. Steiner says you'll tuck 30 goals next year for us. There's a 2-year deal happening, and it didn't work out for me and Terry Murray.
Yeah.
Didn't work out for my coach. These players would tell us, if this didn't work out, do you blame the coach? No, I could have done things different. Maybe I should have tried harder, but it just was
Yeah.
not for me. It didn't work out, and then my career, that was it, right?
But
that
it's
was it.
crazy though, because that roster that you were on in Philadelphia had Jim Montgomery,
Yeah.
had Ron Hextall,
Yep.
Yeah.
and
Brenda
as
Moore.
you mentioned, Rod Brenda
Brenda
Moore.
Moore,
Brenda
yeah,
Moore.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
when are you starting to
Kevin
coach?
Bean, yeah. Did you ever
Yeah,
think
why aren't we watching you on TV right
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
man?
Did you ever think about it? Did you ever want to get into coaching or no?
I at a young age, when I retired, I was thinking about it, but I had my own my family on my own. I had 5 kids.
my God.
So the traveling,
bless.
the leaving, the game. Retired, I was 34 years old, and I just didn't see myself leaving my family again or giving my ex-wife an opportunity. I said, "Oh, we're traveling again. We're leaving." And
Yeah,
it
up,
was too
down,
much.
up. Yeah.
Being a minor leaguer was a lot, right? 11 different locations in 15 years expand
Wow, my
career.
God.
It's too much. Didn't want to coach junior and stuff. And today I don't regret it because I think I choked one of these kids out there on the ice. And I get
You know what? You know what? Knuckles said, I asked him, I'm going to ask you the same thing. I said, Knuckles, I said, could you coach that? He's like, you know what, man? I ain't changing anybody's diapers.
No,
That's what Chris said.
I can't. I have my own kids. I understand the concept. I think I'd like to maybe give it a shot. I understand. I think my goal is what I have, and I'd like to contribute to any NHL team, anybody to be around the players and say, I live there, I've been there, I've done that, and trying to guide them to say, don't do this, don't do that. And I
Yeah.
wish I'd have been there when Piqué Souban was in Montreal because I see myself in him a little bit. I want to just come back and calm down a little bit. Don't change
Chill,
his
yeah.
personality. That's who I am too.
Yeah,
I don't care if it
I
costs
get
my
it, man.
career. I don't care. That's who I am.
Yeah.
You can't create a player
No.
of not being themselves. That doesn't work. And that's what happened. Kids get depressed. Kids are this, a pressure. Well, they want me to be somebody that I'm not, and that's what happened.
And
That's
then they
what's
asked to get
happening.
out. Exactly. And then you get out.
Exactly.
I remember when I was a kid, I played in certain levels, and I remember, everybody, Mimo's got a big slap shot. And then I had what's his name? Narmar Ashfal? Is that what his name?
Yeah.
Narmar Ashfal. He came to one of our practice because his nephew played with me, okay? And he's like, come here, little boy. Come here. Take it easy with your slap shot.
All 4'2" of you.
Yeah,
huh?
I was like 2'4". Yeah, exactly. He's like, take it easy. It's like what you said, you know what I mean? And this is at lower level. I mean, I was a 0. Can you imagine up there? Like everybody wants to be that, So sometimes you need the guy to say, hey, just relax, be yourself, and go do what you're good at.
Yeah,
right?
I'm going to tell you right now because I'm sitting there. I said they're firing coaches. They're firing this. What about all the scouts? I don't understand why all the scouts.
You
are
know
sticking
what?
Around. You pick the player. You scout the
right,
player. You should
right.
know his
I
personality.
agree.
You should know his style of hockey. Why would you want to put I'm mentioning him again. Why would you want Marner to start skating around an arena and throw his body around, have Matthews drop his glove? They should draft him and notice who he was. You can't change that.
No.
You can't change his person.
That's what you
the
drafted.
person
That's what you got. Exactly.
There we go. So
That's right.
surround
You're right.
him with what you hope that someone
Or
can
live
pick
with
up
it.
the slack, or live with it. That's
Or live
enough.
with it. Yeah.
End of story.
I'm
That's
happy
it.
you see it the same way we do.
Yeah, man. But it's true. It's true. You either surround the guy or
Yeah, and we've talked about it quite a few times. Like one of the biggest problems Montreal had, maybe not now with the new group. I feel a lot more confident with the new group, but for the years prior, the talent evaluation.
Oh, that sucks.
Like that's what you said. The scouting, the talent. You got to wonder where that
Yes.
was for a while.
I truly believe a little bit of time in the minors don't hurt. I dropped the gloves a few times. I was getting frustrated, getting punched in the back of the head, blah, blah. Did I win all my fights? I watched on YouTube. No, but I stood up for myself.
Watch on YouTube.
Drop the glove. Watch it. I stood up for myself. Featherstone comes after me. I had to duck, but I didn't want to take the glove in the face, right? And the guys, I was getting respect on the bench. Said, holy cow,
course.
I said, well, I kind of looked after myself a little bit. Even though we had some great guys on the bench, I could look after, protect ourselves. We're policing ourselves back in the old days. But we're told if you're running around, the late Bob Prober would look at me and says, you better settle down, kid. Right?
Wow.
Right? I'm gonna rip you to shred. And I looked at Bob. I said, you know what, Bob? I'm sorry, and I will slow down this time. The game calmed down, right? The game calmed down, and that's how it was.
Wow.
It's a tough man right there. That's a tough man.
I personally would have left.
But don't forget, guys, on my bench too, it's a Lilo Deline, and then you have Mario Rivers, and you have the late Todd Young goes Gilbert. That's not good for us. I said, you know what, you're right, sorry. Then I make us calm down because these guys were gonna go fight Probert and Grimson and all those guys. Here I am, little shit, going out there and skate around and push things around. So that was the fun part about the '90s, that we're allowed to police ourselves.
You were allowed to police yourself. You know what, Gilbert, I asked Nilan this and I asked Odie this too. If you could change one thing in today's game, and I'm going to tell you why I'm asking you this, because both of them said the same thing, okay? I'm going to give you a chance to answer. What would if Gilbert Dionne today was in charge of the National Hockey League, what do you do? What do you change? One thing. They both said the same thing.
I don't know. There's so many things to change, but like I said, I'm trying to adapt to what is changed there. I believe, to me, because I see it's flying. It's a fast game out there. A little bit of interference wouldn't hurt a little bit because
You're getting there.
almost like little clutch and grab, like not much hooking. I don't know. I'm trying to say that there's got to be some sort of a pick here and there to just help each other out, so
They
that the game is not so wide open like that.
Absolutely.
they both said, "Bring back the red line, man."
Yeah, it's
Bring back the red line. And I played with the red line. See, these guys never saw the red line.
I did.
They're
I'm too young
you
for
did,
that.
yeah.
I'm too
Yanni's
young
way
for that.
younger than I am. But
I'm not sure what it would do, but the red line did.
it would slow it down, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I watched. I told my girlfriend, I said, "You need to watch the '93 run because they're showing it here before
Yeah.
Toronto get eliminated." I'm like, she goes, "What do you mean?" I said, "Look, I have to have the puck before I go across the red line." And Marty McSorley was on my ass every time for the playoffs. I couldn't get to the red line, so it was
Yeah,
unbelievable.
Yeah, you know, the thing
Sorry.
is, too, is that because with the red line back, right, like a lot of people today are so caught up on the CTE and the concussions and trying to
Yeah.
lessen the head. But let's be honest, what's the biggest cause of that? It's the chases from the stretch passes.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what's causing it. So if you brought the red line back, if you
It would
really
slow
were
it down.
serious about reducing concussions, that would be do great wonders towards that.
But wouldn't they look like? But wouldn't they look like like they messed up because they did all this change, and now they're gonna
Yeah, you
say,
would
"Ah,
lose the
well, you
speed."
know," or would it be they should be proud and say, "Listen, we realize we made a mistake
Yeah.
and bring it back." Because even Knuckles said it. You know, they want to take fighting out of the game, but no one's getting concussed because of fighting.
No, they're getting
They're
concussed
getting
on
concussed
those.
because. Did you see what Truba did a couple of weeks ago to Nekash?
Yeah.
Almost killed him.
Are you serious? How is that guy not in prison?
I know.
I'm gonna
That's
tell you
crazy.
right now too is what I find too is a little different is, and I see it. Sometimes you watch some hockey, and I think the player, conscious wise, I haven't got hit in 3 games. We're gonna get hit tonight, and now they catch with his head down, smoked, which is a legal hit, and then they
course.
blame the guy. Oh, you got hit.
That
It's
hit him.
illegal.
Yeah.
You know, Rempe's a big boy. I love watching him, and he's throwing the body around. Why not? It's legal.
Exactly.
Old
But,
school hockey.
They're trying to find an excuse. Oh, you got an elbow.
You see?
Up. Oh, you
Yeah.
knocked him down. It should be a penalty. Like, come on. You know
And
who's
wh-
out there.
Yeah, exactly. And what bothers me is that it's always, if there's a good hit, it starts shit on the ice.
yeah.
Always. There's got to
Yeah.
be. Why? Because your player got hit with a good hit.
And I'll never forget when I played. Mike Keane was one of my winger, and Mike says I took one from the late Marchment, Brett Marchment. He
Yes,
came after
yeah,
my
Brian.
knee. He goes,
Yeah.
Brian Marchment, and he said, Gilbert said, Kinger said, we'll get him back. I go, I was so mad. I thought he blew my knee out. He goes, we'll get him back. I said, what do you mean? He goes, once we're on the ice, we'll dump the puck on this corner, flush him out, and I'm just gonna go and run after him. I'm like, okay, and it worked so well. And then I went after Marchment. I said, you see what happened? And that was it. That's how we control ourselves.
And
Like,
it was done. You see? And it was done.
I mean,
Nowadays, it
Yeah.
starts a whole war. And
Yeah.
You have to call your president. They call their president. So forget it, man.
Yeah, it's a long season. It's a long season.
Yeah,
It's,
you'll see him again, especially in your days. You would
Yeah.
get to see him 8 times, or what was it, 7, 8 times
Yeah,
you would see?
yeah,
I
exactly.
remember, oh my God, yeah, I remember the Canadians and Hartford Whalers 8 times.
You
Then
make-
we would meet in the playoffs another 7 times. I'm like,
Yeah.
are you serious, man?
You make sure you tell them, try that again, huh? Let's see what
Yeah.
happens.
Oh my God, that's insane.
There's one thing I wanted to ask, just because you mentioned at the end of your career you were in Florida
Yes.
with the Panthers. So you were there in the beginning of the Florida Panthers, early years. And of course, you know, there were a lot of jokes and gags, especially up here about, there's like 30 people in the stands and blah, 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 and everything else. But now we look, and like they're pretty much a Stanley Cup favorite.
Yeah.
They've built a powerhouse.
Yeah.
God.
And it's like, honestly, most of us here on our show have all picked them as champions this year.
I did.
Yeah.
So I really think they've got all the tools. So how do you view what's happening in Florida now versus when you were there at that time, and it was early infant years?
Correct. So I was in Carolina for the Monarchs, and we were affiliated to the Panthers. I did their camp, went to Carolina, had a great season, and they call us up. What you need your 5-6 player that's got put out of the playoffs, out of the league. In a season in the minors, they call you up. So I was part of the '96 run and the year of the Rats and the Scott
Wow.
Mellenby, Brian Screwlin, John
Yeah.
Van Beesbrook in that, Ed Drewanowski. Great lineup. Once again, those are all mischief players they were unwanted in the league and started with the coaching staff and a great organization that thought things could happen in Florida. And like, it was fantastic. Great workout. You have to be disciplined. Like today, you still have to be disciplined. You know, like, and we could switch to a team. You got Vegas within 6 years. They're winning all the time.
And they said they were going to do it
But
too.
I think it's
Yeah.
because they have a motivated owner. Their
Yeah.
owner wants to win.
So why does
know-
it take 31 years to the Canadians and 15 to the Leafs with all the money in the world?
57, but who's counting? Yeah.
You know what? We had a guest, one of our buddies, Gabby, and he had said that
Yeah.
maybe it's just not their priority.
You know what, Gilbert? What do you think about that? He said, look, because he's also a Leafs fan like me. He's a friend of mine. And Gabby's like, you know what, man? Maybe it's just not their priority. Maybe getting asses in. Remember Harold Ballard? Oh, as long as we have asses in the seats, it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that's even a possibility? It's MLSC. They own everything. They own, the soccer team, the football team, the hockey team, the whatever team. They own, basically. And it's like maybe winning the Stanley Cup is not their priority. Maybe just being okay is okay.
Being entertaining.
Being entertaining. It's like WWE.
I know Evenco is bringing a lot of money. Evenco is the number one, I think, artist group concerts venue in North America. They're the number one. So, you know what? I don't believe that. I mean, you're running a hockey team for a reason, but the fans they're old big time. The fans deserve a good product on the ice. That's how I'm asking. When I go there, and I told you, I'm telling you, I'm not shy. It costs $2,000-$3,000 coming afar. Spend a weekend in Montreal. You just want to see some good hockey and be close to the players and make sure the fans know. Like we used to cross the Bell Center, the Forum, shake hands with the fans, say hello, sign autographs, and that's what needs to be done too. Let's not forget the fans are out there, and that's who pays your bread and butter because they're the ones who buy the tickets.
Totally, man. You see, that's like that's old school, man. I'm
sorry,
I don't mean to say
it's not there anymore.
Yeah, like you see, and a lot of these guys today, back in the day, Gilbert, a lot of guys they played for the sweater.
Yeah.
They really played for the sweater. They had blood all over their sweater. Guys that they lived the sweater. I'm not saying that nobody does today. That would be a generalization, but I feel that sentiment is not as widespread anymore. Like you look at a guy like Sid. He plays for the sweater.
Nathan McKinnon
plays for the sweater.
Yeah.
Like certain guys just carry that pride and that sense of team with them, and but I feel like you don't see it as widespread as you did like in your time. I feel like that was much more of a common thing amongst the players.
Yeah, I think the Bruins shows it. The organization shows it. It's their 100th anniversary. The Bruins are always contenders, man. They're that town, that city, they don't want nothing less but what they're showing today. Yeah, they're struggling a little bit now with the Panthers, but they're showing their heart.
Not over yet, man.
When you got Pasternak just fighting, he's just frustrated.
He went to ask. He went to ask.
I'm going to go fight Kachuk, okay?
I'm going to go fight Kachuk. Is that good? Go ahead, man. Go do it.
Exactly.
Knock yourself out.
That tells you right there. You want to stay. They understand how the Bruins is, and things going to change. I think Montreal needs to go to a better direction again and bring the old stuff back. I think they need to revise. We're the Montreal Canadiens, man. We're the Yankees of baseball. We got to be recognized again across Canada, across the world. The CH got to be. We got to flood the world with the CH again. I think it needs to be addressed. And myself, because I'm 53 years old, and this 31 year of Stanley Cup, one thing's got to go.
But at least you got to watch it. You got to witness it. You were there.
Yeah, you were there.
I wasn't even born.
He held it. Man, are you kidding me?
Well, I was 1 year old.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. I'm enjoying this time because every year the Leafs, the Canadiens don't win the cup, or Canadiens don't win the cup. That's another year of my, of my time with 93 with the cup. But I mean, time is due, right?
Yeah. No kidding. You know what? It's almost time to go, Gilbert. I wouldn't be doing this the proper thing if I wouldn't ask you. But your older brother, Marcel. And see, I didn't call you Marcel.
Yeah.
Right?
Wait, you're not Marcel? What?
Really,
Wrong guy.
How is he? Is he okay? Is he cool? Is he healthy? Is he doing okay?
We're 19 years apart.
Yes.
It's times it's hard to kind of see each other a little bit here and there. Things just happens. But the guy's been his name always pops up every time. Top 10 all time, top scorers, a Hall of Famer. Our name's on the cup. That's all that matters. Our last name is on the cup. Our Marcel's well respected in the NHL, and it's heartwarming when I see the rest of the crew. I visit Ken Dryden. I see, like I said, the guys in the alumni room say, "How's Marcel doing? How's Marcel doing?" And it's heartwarming that for me that Marcel's well, and
that's
especially
amazing.
in Toronto, you got Sittler there. You get the boys
and
Paul Anderson, and get say, I just saw your brother last time play some golf together.
That's awesome.
It's awesome that the old guys are sticking together.
That's awesome, man. Yeah. Listen, man, I want to say thank you so much for doing this. This was awesome. I said, we just want to have fun and talk to some guys. And
hey, you guys been great.
Man, thank you so much. And hopefully, if you go see Sunil sometime, maybe we'll be there.
We'll organize something.
Yeah, maybe we'll organize something. Maybe we'll grab a bite or something. That'll be good. Take you down to my cousin. Take you down to my cousin's restaurant, man, and we'll have it out. We'll have it out. That'll be great.
Sounds
Honest
good.
to God, Gilbert, thank you so much for doing this. It's
My
it's really, 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 really appreciated. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Cheers, guys.
We'll do it again real
Thank
soon.
you so much.
All right.
Bye bye.
All right, guys. Bye bye.